All rise for the Honorable Cousin Ed.
There's two ways to look at this. You want the team to win, but you also want the team to be heading in the right direction and the underlying facts or circumstances to support the fact that they're winning. So yeah, coach, I complain a lot. I really just I'm over Gerard Gallant. Like I'm completely over it. Nothing is gonna if the Rangers win the Stanley Cup this year with Gerard Gallant, I'm still gonna hate him. It
No.
doesn't matter. No, I'm
Well, that's
past it.
ridiculous.
I'm
That's
past
ridiculous.
it.
That's just ridiculous.
Dude.
That's just ridiculous.
It doesn't
They
matter.
win 4 games in
does-
a row. He makes changes, and you got nothing but you're like a Yankee fan. It's like
No, I'm
sad.
not. No,
Yeah,
I'm
you
not.
are.
It's like
'Cause
sad.
you listen to the radio sometimes, and when the Yankees lose, like they go 8-2 in 10 games, and the Yankee fans are complaining about all little petty shit. They'll complain about the coach. Why didn't he bunt this guy? Why did they won 8 games out of 10, and you're complaining? I don't understand it.
Well,
Whatever. You're entitled to your opinion, but
I'm complaining because I don't credit him with doing anything to result in those victories. I think he's jerking around the kids. They're losing confidence. I don't like the way he changes lines. He gets
they're
interviewed.
losing confidence. They're playing great. I don't understand where you see that.
I see them losing confidence. Yes.
Okay.
So when you look, coach, I texted all of this. If you read my texts and
I didn't
followed it.
even read that last night. I could have read War and Peace. Text message. I showed Aaron at the game. I showed Aaron at the game. I go, you want to read this? It's like reading Harry Potter. I didn't even read it.
Aaron, can you give me the cliff notes?
Yeah.
This text. So yes, I think
I mean, if you're going to tell me they're losing their confidence, and again, watching it live, that line is those kids are playing great.
Okay.
I'm even going to put Heedle up.
So what happens
there?
So let's put the kids line together. We'll play them 11 minutes a game, no special teams, no responsibility in the third period, and they'll never develop, and they'll score 25 points and be third liners. And that's what we got a first and second overall pick for, instead of to go and play with elite players and develop and take this team to the next level. And if that's not going to, they may do well in some circumstances as a kid line, but they should not be on that line. Kako and Lafreniere get promoted to Zibanejad's line, immediately have success. A game later, they struggle in the first period. He changes it. It makes no sense to me. And they get interviewed. Both of them get interviewed and both say, playing with Mika gives you a lot of confidence. It's like, wow, I definitely am learning a lot from Mika. It's so exciting to play with Mika. And then he's off Mika's line. Right.
What game was he off Mika? What game was he off Mika's line?
Last night.
Okay. What was the score in the first period?
So let's change the lines. Every time we're losing after the first period, change the lines.
That's a coach's job. That's a coach's job.
Coach, you just said last episode you want to keep the lines together to give them 3 to 4 games together. Now you're saying change the lines?
I'm not there. I didn't say change the lines. They obviously saw something as a coaching staff. They were losing 2-1 at the time, or 2-0 after the first. I don't remember exactly. They made a change, and they came back and won. Okay. So I don't know where you don't give the coaching staff any credit.
So keep those lines together. Let's put Gaudreau with
maybe
Panarin
for a particular game to match up certain players. That's what they saw. That's a coach's job, just like in football, basketball.
You give him too much credit, coach.
I'm not. Look, they're on a 4-game winning streak, and he's making changes along the way, and they're winning. If they would have made those changes and lost last night, then I would have been complaining. But I'm not going to complain.
Do that.
I'm not going to complain about changes, and they won.
You can't do that because results are not always created by the choices. You have to judge choices in the moment they're made.
But I am saying the results of last night's game were created by those changes.
If you're a general in war and you decide we're gonna invade the South here, right? You're the Union general, right? You're Grant. And you're going to invade. You're going to attack, and all the signs point to this being the right decision, and all the evidence presented is this is the right decision. And then you attack and you get slaughtered. You're going to judge that general and say that was a bad decision? No, you're not going to do that. You're going to say that was the right decision he made, and it turned out bad. You should do that. You should judge decisions. Decisions are made by information presented to you.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm judging his decision to change that line based on the result.
But you said it's based on the result. Yeah, they won. If they lost, what would you say?
Well, it worked. It worked.
Okay, sure.
If it didn't work, then you could say I don't agree with his decision.
We'll see what the lines are next game.
We will. We'll see what he's making changes in situations against certain teams.
Right.
And if it's working, it's working.
What's that, Mikey Producer chime in?
Well, no, I'm gonna try to feed both of you. If he comes out and plays the lines the way they were, doesn't go with those changes against the Devils, do you think that was the right move then at that point to do that during that game? Would you then go ahead? Right.
For me.
I'm asking you. If Gallant comes out, regular lines, not the lines, the funky lines he did against the Devils, would you say that, okay, Gallant made a right choice against the Devils, or do you still feel the same way you feel?
I would say it's more likely that it's what Coach just said, that it was an in-game adjustment. But I don't see Gallant making in-game adjustments. I don't see him good at that. He's not good at tactics. He's not good at strategy. He just shuffles the lines. He's just like, oh, let's try this. We haven't tried this yet. And then they struggle for a period, and he's like, oh, let's shuffle it again. Let's put this guy out there. He benches this guy for no reason. He puts this guy in for no reason. I don't see any thought process other than just like taking chances with his decisions. So I'm frustrated with him. And yes, I'm happy the team is getting results. That's great. I want the team to win. I don't want them to lose, obviously. But I don't think any of these young forwards will develop into star players under Gerard Gallant. It's not happening. It's just not happening. So just put that out of your mind. No Ranger fan should expect it. They're not going to score more than 30, 35 points with this coach, period. We're going to have Goodrows and VCs forever in the top six. It's just the way it is. It's the way
VC's not in the top six, first of all.
Well, he was for 20 games.
All right. Now he's not. Now he's not.
Well, now Goodrow
now he's not. And if you were a Ranger fan, you got Trocheck goes to the third line. He's not a third line center in the NHL. And he's playing third line
and Hedl.
Well, he took the spot and he's going with it. And he's playing good. He's not crying. He's not complaining. He's taking his role. And every player, Kreider's on the third line. He's been a first line player for 2 years. He's not doing anything but hustling. If you watch the game
30 years old, nobody's talking about them not hustling.
If you watch the game last night, they did a great job of getting the puck behind their D, which they should be doing in certain games, and they limited the cross ice bullshit, and they kept the puck in the Devil zone a lot more. If you watch the game,
I like
so there is a strategy involved that you're saying there's no strategy, but they did a good job last night. Seeing it in person was very good to see.
Let's let Little Ed chime in. I've been venting a lot here. Coach egged me on early.
Can I refuse to take the stand?
No, you don't have to take a side. You can play the middle or whatever, or you can take a side. I'm just curious what your thoughts are. I mean,
no, I'm not a huge fan of shuffling the lines. I think they got to try and get something going. I mean, but at the same time, we're not there at practice. So, I mean, I don't know what they're doing in practice. I don't know if he shuffles the lines in practice as much as he does in games. And it's tough. I mean, it's hard to argue with success. But at the same time, I mean, I'd like to see like just consistent lines. Lastly, I mean, I think a good hockey team doesn't define their lines 1, 2, and 3. The Rangers should just have 3 solid lines. So I don't care if Trocheck is on the third line, the second line, or the first line, in my opinion.
I agree with that. They have 3 good lines.
Same thing goes for Panarin, Zibanejad. All these guys should be interchangeable in a way. Because I mean, come playoff time, I mean, I'm not trying to say that he's preparing for playoffs, but come playoff time, there's injuries. Players have to be moving around up and down the lineup. That's how a good team wins the Stanley Cup, is where everyone can play with everybody and everything's just working as a machine. You know, so like I said, I don't think we should really stress on like first line, second line, third line. Because like even if Kreider's on the third line, he's still getting the same amount of time probably as like guys that are on the quote unquote first line. No?
Yeah, he played more time than all the kids. Trocheck played more than Hedl. So I don't know what this third line nonsense is. Trocheck played 20 minutes.
Well, that's because they got the power play.
2 minutes. 2 minutes of power play time. So right. Trocheck had 20 minutes and Hedl had 14:49.
All right. So that's, if you take away the 2 minutes, they're only 2 minutes different.
3.5.
All right. Trocheck's a bona fide NHL.
Trocheck's
a bona fide NHL player. Hedo's been struggling on and off, so don't make like Hedo's this end all be all guy. All of a sudden.
Hedo's on pace
He's
for
lucky
just
he
as
got.
many
He's
points
lucky.
as Trocheck.
The guy Robertson only gets 14 minutes a game. He's got 20
What?
goals. Yeah, the guy on Dallas. They
No
said he gets
chance.
14. All right, look it up.
There's no chance, Mike. Look
All right,
up how much. Look
Look
up
it
his
up. I
time
saw
on
the
ice.
interview. He gets like 14 to 15 minutes a game.
There's no way. He's
Okay.
their best player. There's just no chance that's true. He
All right.
plays power play. That can't be true.
Well,
I'd be
that's what
shocked.
That's what he said. That's what the coach said in the interview.
But anyway, look, you coach, I'm just
So you want to
noticing-
give Hedo more time than Trocheck? You tell him.
I want
'cause he
Heedle
gets
to be
2
the
goals-
second line center. Yes, I
He
want Heedle with
is.
Panarin as the second
He
line center.
is.
And I want him
He
to play
is.
accordingly. I play him accordingly.
He
Period.
is playing accordingly. He doesn't deserve power play time. So forget
Doesn't look
that.
like it. Looks like he's playing with Lafreniere and Kako, playing less than the 7th, 8th, and 9th most time on ice of all the forwards.
Oh, that's
what it
the
looks
way
like.
it goes. They're winning
After
4 games in a row.
everything, after
They're winning
everything I
4
just said,
games
you
in a
guys
row,
are still
so why-
arguing about second line versus third line.
I know, Ed, I agree with you to an extent, but I don't think that's practical. I don't think that is the way it is. I mean, yes, you might be able to say like, okay, with Zibanejad's line and Panarin's line, they're interchangeable. Fine. But if you put a kid line together and then you have those 2 lines, that kid line is the third line. They're not the same. They're not being treated the same. They're not on the ice for the final 5 minutes of the game. They didn't play. They
That's
weren't
why
out
I'm
there. I
saying,
texted you guys, where are the kids? Where are they playing? He didn't put them out there.
Yeah, I think
Jack
I
Hughes
think
plays
I
the
don't
last
I don't
6 minutes of a game. He
I
plays the
don't
last
believe
6
that-
minutes for the Devils.
I don't believe
That's
they weren't out
ridiculous.
there in the last 5 minutes.
I did not see them out there. I didn't
that
see
doesn't
them. If
mean
they
they
were out there,
weren't
it
out
was
there.
a 20-second shift or something.
You don't
I'm
see
saying-
a lot. I'm learning that you don't see a lot.
Okay, coach. Look, you can disagree with me all you want, but you can't question my knowledge of the game, my years of experience playing
You
the
know what you
game. I
can't-
know
you
the
know what
game
you-
just as well as anyone here. And I
No,
watch the games very closely, and I
Well-
don't agree with you. They're not used in that role in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Oh,
Period.
Quick question, and then I think we should move on from this topic. But speaking of, Gallant not developing the young players, because I do kind of see that. I do see your point in that. Would you rather Laffy, Kako, Hito be average for, let's just say, the next 5 years and the Rangers win 2 cups? Or would you rather them all be like a Jack Hughes and on the cover of NHL?
I'd rather
and
win the
not
2
win the cup.
but that's not what's gonna happen. In
You
order
don't
for
know
the
that.
Rangers to take that step,
I wanted
and
your
win the
honest
cup,
opinion. That's all.
I want the cups, obviously. If you told me right now that deal, Mike, I would sign up for those cups and deal with them being average players. But that's not the way it's going to work out. The way it's going to work out is those kids will be average because they will not be developed properly. They'll probably be traded and developed elsewhere, right? Like Nils Lundqvist right now has more points than Kako. It's ridiculous. So
I think
the
Kako
kids
and
go elsewhere and
I
do
think
well.
Kako and Laffy are more playoff ready than Hughes is. I can't wait to see Hughes in the playoffs. I can't wait.
The kid is dynamic. He's
dude,
already a
okay.
top 15 center in the league.
We'll see. We'll see how he plays in the playoffs when he's actually getting hit.
He's unbelievable. You see the kid. He gets 2 breakaways a game. His puck skills, his vision. He's
Regular
a phenomenal
season.
player. I agree. I think playoff might be an issue for him, but regardless, anyway, enough of me venting about Gallant and Coach Tony. So